Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel.
Hey, you say this, no? I'll start my video with that only.
Yeah.
You welcome my audience.
रहने दे मेरी बहन मेरे मजे ले लेगी
बोल ना, hi guys. Blooper तो भाई गया मेरे पास, डाल दो मैं
हाँ
दूंगी.
वही रखा मैं नहीं बोल रहा दोबारा.
Basically, constantly learning and growing, keep upgrading ourselves.
Exactly.
Talking to people, meeting people, and peer-to-peer learning is also very important.
Very
It's not
important.
only about the classroom. And people who are there in their gap year, you have to work on your CV a little bit to justify your skills, to justify your gap, and you will probably do well. Hi everyone, welcome to Vaishnavi Startbox. Today we have Aviral with us. So a little bit about him. He is an electrical and electronics engineer and is currently pursuing his MBA in HR from TAPMI Manipal. So welcome to the channel, Aviral.
Thank you Vaishnavi, thank you for having me.
Okay, so there are a lot of people who have a gap year and they are confused on how can they proceed in their career. So Aviral has a gap year of 5 years. He completed his BTech in 2018 and then came for his MBA in 2023. In between, he was preparing for civil service examinations. So he has a gap year of 5 years, but currently he is doing pretty well. He is placed in an MNC and is also a part of TAPMI Achievers Club. So he will be able to guide you all in a better way, and I hope this video will be helpful to a lot of people. So I'll be asking him 3 questions around these lines. So we'll start.
Yeah, we can.
So my very first question to you is, what are the challenges that people usually face during gap year and how can they overcome them?
So first and foremost thing that a person in a gap year faces is the mental issues that he can have. People will start getting demoralized. They are thinking that nothing is going in their favor. They will just close themselves, stop letting people in. They would stop having conversations. And at my time, there was COVID also, so I couldn't go out of my home as well. So I was just stuck in my room, staring at a wall. And there is only a certain point of time that you can study. You start losing concentration. You can't focus. So this is something that you have as a issue. Then comes the opportunity part. Not every time opportunity will come and present itself. You will also see that often you will have rejections more than selections, which was there in my case. Yeah, so these are the 2 prime issues that you can have. Apart from this, as the time passes by, you will see that you are not getting the opportunities, but your age is increasing. So this is also, you will, as a me being a guy typically from a UP background, so I have to have a job, but at that point of time I couldn't. And at that point of time, my parents were big support for me. My friends, especially my friends, like they supported me in every way possible. They were there for me for like as soon as thing eased out after COVID, they called me to Delhi to have a time to enjoy, to hang out with them, so that I could freshen up. Then again start, and again you need to reevaluate your options, right? It's not always what you're preparing for. Whatever you're preparing for, you will achieve it. You always need to have a logical plan B, and this is a part of your preparation. And it's something that I'm not saying to so that you always have a option of deviating from your path, but keeping that in focus, having a logical plan B is always correct option. And for me, that was MBA.
That's really great. And like another point that I would like to add is that there is a lot of pressure from the society, from
Exactly.
relatives. People are asking about what are you doing, what is your son doing.
What happens is in every functions that I attend to,
Yeah.
and people will come up and say like, so my full name is Aviral Mishra, right?
Yeah.
So Mishra ji का लड़का क्या कर रहा है? And Mishra ji का लड़का कुछ नहीं कर रहा था.
हाँ.
So these things come up to you, and you start thinking like no one is coming saying it to you directly, but you start thinking on yourself.
Yes.
Like, am I in the right path? Have I lost it? Have I ruined my career by taking this option of preparing for sales services or any other competitive exam for that matter?
Yes.
So yeah.
And it's really great that your friends and family supported you. So this is, I think, a big support for you.
Yeah.
Second
Nice.
question is very important, for which people are looking for an answer, is how do you explain your gap year in MBA interviews or any other interview?
So this question is common if you are entering into any of the organization, whether it's the education institute or for a job or in any professional career. So you will be asked to justify your gap year. And for me, what worked out was everyone knows civil service is not an easy task. It's no joke. People spend their lives and still come up empty-handed. For me, I tried. Somewhere I succeeded, somewhere I didn't. I couldn't achieve what I really wanted to, so I kept on trying. But yeah, I'm always truth. I always say truth about whatever happened in my interviews. If they are willing to give me opportunity on that, it's well and good. If not, then they might have a different perspective of that, and I cannot force my need, like I need this job or I need this admission in your organization, so I cannot force them, and they don't necessarily have to take me as well. So there has to be alignment. Now when they ask me what has happened, like why is there a gap here, I simply say that I was preparing for civil services. I wanted to achieve something big. I had given this much of time, still I couldn't succeed, and right now the next best thing that I could do was an MBA, and doing MBA in HR. So this civil services, whatever I learned, it's a vast curriculum. It's right from many basic things to foreign relations and whatnot. So you learn a lot of things. You carry a certain experience with you, and as before I spoke about mental resilience, it completely transforms you, your mentality, your approach, how you think about problem.
Yes.
So this is completely transformed, and when you apply all these things to a later part, where suppose right now I am in doing MBA in HR, so if I am writing any answers for that matter, if I am writing any answer, suppose for employee relation or labor laws, I put in that perspective, that gives me an edge. When I say things, people listen. When I have something to contribute in every conversation, irrespective of the topic, because my background has helped me. I am an engineer. I have prepared for civil services. What all things we learn, and so yeah, this is something that has helped me, and this is something that you will see that in your interviews, people will acknowledge.
Yes.
With the way you speak, they will listen to you. It's not that, and you will also see that they are not getting bored or yawning, but yeah, they will enjoy your conversations. So this is something that I do in my interviews.
So in a nutshell, being honest and telling what exactly you have done in that time is something that the interviewers will appreciate. And one more point that I think, according to me, that we can also upgrade our skills a little bit,
Exactly.
so that we can tell them that, okay, this is something that I have done, and being honest about it as well, and not like just bluffing around that, okay, I have done this, when
No,
actually
no.
you have not.
People will
So
catch
yes.
if you bluff around, right?
Yes.
They are also at that position because they have achieved something. They will always catch you. And the thing is that you should always reflect on your learnings. Whatever you have learned, you should know, and it should come up to you. If you have really worked hard, if you have really made efforts to achieve something, it will show. It will show in your work or how you speak.
Okay. So we'll move on to the next.
Sure.
My third and the final question to you is, what advice would you like to give to the people who are currently in their gap year, and what are the best ways to make a gap year productive?
So, what you can do is, like, if you are in a gap year currently, just pursue for whatever you are preparing for. If need be, if you are made in the efforts, it's not all the time. It's that you are putting in the efforts and you are getting. It's not a transaction. Yeah, there are different variables as well. There are sometimes luck. Luck also plays a very major role, and that you will learn as you come up, right? So what I would say is just try for it. If not, as I said before, have a logical plan B. What you can do, the next best thing. It's not like kuch bhi kar liya. The next best thing that you could do. This is something that I would say you should have. And when you are in an MBA, suppose you are doing an MBA, that's what I am doing. So you have to make up for those gap years. You have to, if someone is putting 70% of the effort, you have to go 85, 90%. You cannot just settle in for the 70% that the other one is doing. You have to stand out. If you are standing out, then obviously people will see, yes, you put in efforts in your past. That is, you are carrying it in the present as well, and you will carry it in the future also. This is what recruiters look for. They are not seeing at a gap year. They are seeing what you have learned from your gap year, and how did you perform, or how did you behave, basically, right? And you will see that when you are in an MBA, people there are freshers. Then there are companies who are looking for work hits, people with minimum of 2 years or 1 year of work hits. And with me, I had none. Neither I was a fresher, neither I had a work hits. So what did I do? First of all, the first basic thing that I did was have a good academics. I maintained a decent GPA throughout my first year, and I think I'm doing pretty well in second year as well. Apart from that, first year I focused in a lot of community activities so that I can show that I could show that I was very much active. I could I could multitask at different at a particular situation, particular timing. Apart from that, what I would also suggest is like you can build upon your CV. That can be through certifications, that can
Yes.
be through various competitions. That's what I did. uh, so something you have to and all this will take up your time. You won't be allowed, you won't be able to enjoy as much. So it's not the case. I enjoyed thoroughly. My friends would watch for that. I had my good time in MBA. I had 8 and to 9 hours of sleep daily. So that is the best achievement that I can take from TAPME, that I was able to maintain a 8 to 9 hours of sleep daily. So all this requires time management, even during class. So how are you studying? How are you paying attention in the class? How are you interacting with your friends? Suppose in a normal conversation also, a guy from IB and a guy from BKF, a guy from marketing will have different inputs to a particular problem. You don't need to have go and ask questions. Just listen to their conversations. Now. Pick up the good points that you think. Whatever, not all the things will come up to you. Like if they're talking about derivatives, suppose if a big guy from BKF is talking about derivatives, you won't understand the thing being from HR. But yeah, you can understand the context of it. What are the implications of it? This is something you can pick up and just have it somewhere down the line. If you say these things, people will know you have a different perspective, and this is what our organization looks for. So what I'm saying is, you have to keep your eyes open, your ears open. You have to constantly learn. It's not all about books. It's not always about class lectures. It's continuous learning,
Peer-to-peer learning.
peer to peer. And when you think learning is just of reading, watching videos, listening to lectures, it's not. It's basically having your ears open, eyes open, and just understanding things, how they work. Simple transaction, how things work. Even if you're going to a mall, how things work. That's it. You just have to observe. Observation is, for me, observation has been the best learning for me. So this is something that I would say that the people who are having gap year or no gap year, people should have this kind of approach to succeed.
So basically, constantly learning and growing, keep upgrading ourselves,
Exactly.
talking to people, meeting people, and peer-to-peer learning is also very important. It's
Very
not
important.
only about the classroom. And people who are there in their gap year, you have to work on your CV a little bit to justify your skills, to justify your gap, and you will probably do well. So I think this video is going to help a lot of people, and thank you, Aviral, for sharing your insights.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And array. Okay, so in the end, do you want to add anything for the channel or anything in general?
So Vaishnavi has been doing really good, although I have been making a lot of fun about her. But yeah, we both are from UP, and it was really nice having doing this video with her. And I hope that her channel really grows, and it's really informative, and it would really help a lot of people upcoming MBAs.
Thank you, Aviral. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, so we'll meet next time. Like, share, and subscribe. Till then, bye bye.